Your amendment on NSA surveillance, I think, surprised a lot of people in how much support it got, with no obvious ideological sway within the group. What is next legislatively regarding NSA surveillance?
We have some legislation called the Liberty Act that I've worked on with Rep. John Conyers. He's the chief sponsor of it. And we've got about 45 bipartisan co-sponsors right now. That's growing by the minute. So we're adding new people every day. And it's really split almost down the line between Republicans and Democrats. So I think that legislation has a great chance of getting through Judiciary Committee. If you look at the Judiciary Committee members who voted on my amendment, they overwhelmingly supported the amendment. And I know that Chairman Goodlatte is committed to bringing some great legislation through Judiciary, which would include the Liberty Act amongst it.
Senator Ron Wyden has, I think, been extremely patient with Director of National Intelligence James Clapper, who lied to the Senate in March. Most recently, Clapper responded to a letter in June that Ron Wyden and Senator Udall sent to him, essentially claiming the authority to turn all of our cell phones into tracking devices. What do you think of how the Director of National Intelligence has handled himself before Congress, and do you think that he should face any consequences for having lied in March?
Sure. I think he should be prosecuted for it. He came before Congress and told something that was clearly a lie. He admitted to lying before Congress, and if any ordinary American had done the same thing, they'd be facing prison time right now. So I think there are real concerns here, and there should be real consequences when someone does that. That was not just a lie to Congress, that was a lie to the American people.
Your colleague Thomas Massey from Northern Kentucky says, from what he understands, based upon the leaks that have come out relating to NSA surveillance, he does not think that the leaker should be prosecuted. What do you think?
I think the facts are still to be discovered. We don't know exactly what Mr. Snowden is doing or has done. So while there are many good things that have come out of this, much information that has come out that's allowed Congress to focus on these issues in a new way, because a lot of this stuff we were kept in the dark before. There are other aspects to this case, to the situation, that we don't know enough about to really say.
Okay, and issues of guilt or innocence aside, as we record this, we are waiting on a verdict in the Bradley Manning trial. Do you think that he's been mistreated, and would you characterize that mistreatment, such as it is, as inhumane?
Well, I don't know enough about the specifics of the case. I think it's important that we have people who can blow the whistle when there are things going wrong in our government, and it's important that they have the proper avenues. And unfortunately, for many people who are in that situation, they don't have the proper avenues, and we have to fix that through legislation.
Given the debate over surveillance powers that occurred in December, which was, I would characterize as a sham, it seems clear that the Senate, at least the leadership in the Senate, is not really willing to engage directly on this issue. Do you think that that's changed since the vote last week on surveillance?
I would expect so. The American people are very engaged on this issue. The reason the House had the strong vote that it did is because the American people are concerned about it, and they've been calling up their representatives, and I'm certain they're calling up their senators as we speak. So if the senators want to do something that is reflective of what the American people think, they better address this issue.
New Jersey Governor Chris Christie has been picking on Rand Paul, and more broadly, he's been picking on libertarians, calling it a very dangerous thought with respect to national security issues. What is it that you think maybe he doesn't understand, or what do you think is the essential core difference that drives him to make this characterization?
Well, I think there's a certain arrogance to it, a certain sort of condescending aspect to it, of believing that libertarians are not a major force within Republican politics. A lot of members of Congress have this problem, I think, of not understanding what grassroots Republicans believe. The libertarian a strain within the Republican Party is a large strain. It's not a small thing anymore. It might be the plurality, maybe the majority when you look at young Republicans. And this is going to continue to evolve. And look, we have to work together as Republicans, and it doesn't get us anywhere when we are attacking whole sections of the party, whether they be libertarian or any other part of the party. We can disagree with each other, but ultimately we're going to have to work with each other. And I don't think it makes sense to alienate a whole group of people.